so they can see what's going on as well. All right, hello guys, and welcome back to the Escape Gaming Masters Round 1 of the main event. I'm here once again with Nobody, and we've got a great match between dogao and BacT coming your way.
So on the bottom left side, we have dogao playing as the Slavs, and in the top right side, we have BacT playing as the Khmer, and the map we are playing is Cenotes.
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 I have no idea, man. I'm terrible with these things. But I'm gonna say C notes. I like that. That sounds a lot nicer than Cenotes. I mean, come on, it's got to be C notes, right? So, yeah, this map is kind of interesting. If we have a look, let's see what's available to the players here. They both have 2 boar to begin with. They've got a standard berry patch. They have turkeys, which is all good, and they've got standard deer patch as well. So it looks pretty much like standard resources on this one. But this map does feature, once again, which is the common theme with all of these maps in this tournament, a very open, highly aggressive sort of play style that we should see from both players due to how difficult it is to wall.
Yeah, this map doesn't. This map reminds me somewhat, just of a regular Arabia map with just a few pawns in the middle. It's not really that different, but that's kind of why we love these maps. Is they have such an aggressive play style, and they're just such great. They're so great to watch.
Yeah, exactly. That's basically the premise of the map pool here. For those of you who didn't see much Battle for Angkor, we had a similar setup where we had mostly very highly aggressive open maps. Now, we do have an arena, we do have a hideout, so they sort of balance things out a little bit. But we don't have anything like Black Forest where players can just wall up, or Yucatan, for example, where you see players often walling up a little bit more and turtling up. That's because we want to get to the action, and we figured out yesterday that you guys want to see blood. So that's exactly why we've got these very highly aggressive maps here. I would like to see some water maps in future events. Perhaps Escape Gaming Masters 2, we can see some more water maps, because we've not really seen any of that so far.
Yeah, the thing is about open maps is I think it promotes, like, every civ has some sort of strength. Even a water civ like the Malay or a water civ like the Vikings have some sort of strength in the game. If you have a map like Black Forest, it's going to be, some civs are really going to dominate that, like the Celts or whatever, or a water map. Some civs might dominate it. So you're going to have a big pool. But open maps just tend to, every civ's got some strength here.
Yeah, actually, I agree with that completely. That's a great point, because in Black Forest, the game's forced to go to the late game most of the time. On water maps, you're forced to go for water. But on an open map like this, you can decide if you want to try and wall up and turtle. Of course, it's going to favor the civs that have early game strengths as well. But I think all civs can showcase something on maps like this. So, dogao here.
Yeah, you just have to adjust your play style. Would you like to talk about the civs at all?
Yeah, I was going to say, dogao here nearly losing a villager, but dogao here playing as the Slavs. Slavs are a very good late-game civ, actually, speaking of the whole balance thing and that. But one of the nice bonuses for the Slavs, the one that really stands out, is that their farmers work 15% faster. And that basically gives them great opportunities to do Fuel Age Scouts, they can do Castle Age Knights, and they can really go for food-heavy builds because of that bonus. It kicks in nice and early from the Dark Age, even when you start seeding your first farms.
Yeah, that's basically the biggest bonus, I think, for the Slavs. It's mostly an early game bonus. It does subside a little bit once they get wheelbarrow and handcart, but it's a very nice early game bonus. It promotes scout builds and that kind of stuff, getting you up to the next age faster. Another nice bonus that the Slavs have in the early game is that they're building support +5 population. So it means you might not have to make as many houses. So it's a really nice early game bonus.
Yeah, that's the military bonus, right? The military buildings give +5 population. Yeah, that's interesting actually, because the Incas were added with the Slavs in the Forgotten, and the Incas get the houses which give you 10 population, which is also a nice little bonus. But yeah, I mean, it kind of makes me feel like the devs want the Slavs to be kind of aggressive, since those military buildings can provide the population as well. It's, I guess, a very small wood bonus if you look at it that way, and it also might save your ass a little bit, because getting housed is never ever a good thing in any situation ever. Just to stress that.
And then just to top it all off, the Slavs have probably one of the most useless bonuses, I think, in the game, right next to the Saracens, and free tracking.
Yeah, I mean, it's something, isn't it? But it's just so meh. It's like, okay, free tracking, great. Well, if I make some
Just throw that in there. We haven't done that one yet.
Well, I think the thing is they are an infantry civ, and one of the nice things about the Slavs, of course, is in the Imperial Age, this is where they really become strong. When they have a lot of siege, and they've got a great kind of halberdier or champion swordsman line in front of those siege units, because they have Dragina, which is their unique technology allowing their infantry units to do splash damage, kind of like the cataphract. So yeah, I mean, tracking is just a little addition in there, but it's nothing major. Really, the Slavs have much better bonuses. Let's quickly talk about the Khmer, though, before we see this Drush coming in, because both players actually building a barracks now. BacT playing as the Khmer. We've seen a lot of the Khmer from Battle for Angkor, but they are a siege and elephant civ. That's what they're listed as. And they have their unique unit, which is the ballista elephant. What are your thoughts on the ballista elephant, actually? I'm interested to know.
Well, from watching Battle of Angkor, from that tournament, I've seen the ballista elephant get countered pretty hard. I believe it was I can't remember if it was Tato or Tato was playing, but
Tato versus
we
Nikov,
saw
I
like a
think.
player that was winning go into ballista elephants, and then just it completely turned around. It was easy to counter. I think the theme is with the elephants is that they're a really population efficient unit, but also very easy to counter unless you're right up against the pop cap. So I see elephants doing better in large team games, and BacT's going to lose his scout.
Oh, yeah, next to the TC there. That's not good if you're going to do a drush. I mean, that basically reduces your chance of winning the drush, I guess you could say, quite significantly, without the scout being able to join the fight. Dogao not yet sending his drush out, but sitting inside of his barracks for the time being, whilst he sends his scout forward. And that could be a good thing for him, because he'll probably be able to defend this drush. But whoa. Is BacT map hacking? What's going on? He's gone straight to this gold camp. And it's miles away from Dogao's base. What's Dogao doing over here?
I don't know.
What is he doing?
Dogao's thinking he's being sneaky here, but clearly BacT knows everything.
Yeah, man. BacT has got the vision. No, he had the vision before anyway. I was only kidding. Of course, he's not map hacking. But yeah, I mean, BacT's interesting playstyle. He's actually walling up quite heavily. Do you think we're going to see a drush fast castle from BacT? I think we will. He's still adding villas.
I think it's possible. The thing is with the Khmer, we haven't talked very much about them. They have a lot of nice tricks up their sleeve. They can put villagers in houses. The big one is they don't need buildings to advance to the next age. So no market, no blacksmith. They can go straight up.
Which means that you don't have to have as many villagers gathering wood, and you can focus more on having farms and more villagers taking food. So it allows you to do a good castle time with the Khmer. And like you said, the villagers being able to hop into the houses is great. But right now, this is where the advantage from Dogao shows as he brings that scout cavalry into the fight and upgrades man-at-arms. Now, I disagree with the man-at-arms upgrade here because, well, BacT is fully walled, and these guys are probably just not going to achieve anything now.
Well, the thing is with men-at-arms, they give you a good, you're able to take down walls. If you look at BacT's walls, they are a little bit big. We'll have to see if these men-at-arms do come in here. Keep in mind, in expansions, men-at-arms and all infantry get +1 attack versus buildings now.
Yeah, of course. So they are a little better at taking down the buildings, but I don't know if BacT is really going to be caught out by this, to be honest. Now, if we look at Dogao's point of view, look at his line of sight, he had to bring his scout back to deal with that drush, so he actually hasn't got much information about what's going on over on the other side of the map. BacT, on the other hand, he knows what's going on over at Dogao's side.
Dogao has to know what's going on. He sees his opponent still in the Dark Age. He's playing as the Khmer. I mean, Dogao's fully committed to this. He's put in all his resources into these ranges, into men-at-arms. He's going to go for it. He's going to do some damage here. And if he can't do damage, it's going to be a tough game for him.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, in theory, he should know that this is a drush fast castle because the feudal age hasn't come in from BacT, like you say. But he doesn't realize that he's fully walled yet. And, of course, he'll realize now. I think the solution for Dogao would have been to send a villager or two forward as well and actually put a tower on one of these walls just to make sure that he can get in. Of course, BacT will be able to wall up behind this, but only for so long, because Dogao, once he brings the archers in, should be able to hit those villagers from over the wall and deny any re-walling. BacT then, feudal now, and should be pretty close to castle, but he's not quite there yet, so this could be very good from Dogao.
BacT's he's in no man's land right now. He's stuck at 500 food and nothing for a military production building. He's going for the slow fast castle build, the classic build among newer players.
Oh yeah, exactly. That slow fast castle. This is so awkward because he hasn't got the food. And without, I mean, this is a
Look
thing.
how
Go ahead.
look how slow these stone walls are going up. They're going at like a snail's pace.
Yeah, we will catch more of that in the second part. But I just wanted to say before we jump to the second part of the game, he doesn't want to let his TC idle. You know, when one of the things that is drilled into you when you're learning AoE and playing AoE is never let your TC idle. So when you get to the feudal age and you want to do a fast castle, but you don't quite have the food, you just keep making villagers. And that slows you down even more because every villager you create is 50 food spent, which is 50 food that's not going towards clicking to the castle age. So slowing back right down by doing this, and now the pressure is on. So let's load the second part. I don't see it.
Countdown?
Hold on. I can't seem to get the second part. That's very interesting. I definitely downloaded it.
It's in the Skype group, I think.
Yeah, I downloaded it, and it says it's already in my folder, but it's not showing up in my list. It's very strange. Let me try once again. I will rename this so I can get it. I'll call it --BacT. Okay, that's definitely there now. Okay, so let's see. It should be there. There it is. Okay, great. So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, go. All right, resuming onwards. And we were just saying that dogao should be in a pretty strong position if he can break through these walls. The pressure is on BacT at this stage. And will he be able to click castle fast enough? Over the moment, he's letting his TC idle now, so he's going to let that food surplus without spending any of it on additional villagers. Could be,
well,
could
I see
be
BacT
scary.
make 3 villagers here. What were you going to say?
I was going to say it could be scary for dogao now, and dogao's actually going to be walling up at home, so we could see a long game here. We could see a really long game.
we're seeing stone walls. I wasn't expecting to see stone walls in this tournament.
No, exactly. I mean, stone walls, they're nerfed so hard, but, I mean, BacT doesn't really have a choice here. He kind of has to go stone walls. Of course, his houses are a little weaker at this stage, so they're the kind of weak link in the wall here. But BacT clicking up to the castle age now. dogao also stone walling, and it's going to be a big one. It's going right the way across to the right side of the map, and it's probably going to come down from this lake as well, going across to where he's gathering gold. But once we get to the castle age, I'm going to be interested to see what happens. The thing is, dogao's going to be so late to castle here, and he's doing a wheelbarrow right now, which I feel is too early. He needs more farms up before he does that. That's actually going to slow him down, if anything.
Yeah, well, you could say that with any civ. Actually, with the Slavs, wheelbarrow doesn't affect their farming so much. It only gives them, I think, a 5% increase, where normal civs, it would be 15%.
Yeah.
It's just the way the farming mechanic works with the Slavs.
Exactly. So it's almost better for him to just skip wheelbarrow at this stage and make more villagers. So I feel like this is actually
it's kind of similar
negatively
with the
affecting him.
Aztecs.
Yeah, exactly.
well.
Exactly. I feel like this is negatively affecting him here. And at the same time, you know, he's trying to get this pressure onto BacT, but he's just not finding a way through. He's got a couple of houses. He's forced BacT to wall up, but at the same time, he's also forced to wall up. And this is some big-ass walling right here. Like, this is huge.
Yeah. This is such a weird game. I mean, BacT spent so much stone on these walls. He's up with the blacksmith. He's gonna go knights. Let's see what he can do with a few knights. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, he has to get the knights there before the wall is completed. And at this rate, I don't think he's going to make it. I think his goal would be to try and perhaps clean this army up, but even then, we're still gonna kind of hit this stalemate mid game where both players are just turtling, and I would expect to almost see both players just going for a boom here. The problem, of course, is they don't have any stone because they both spent it all on these massive walls.
If we wanted to play arena, I think we would have chosen arena, but it's looking a lot like arena.
Yeah, but I have no problem with this, and actually, I mean, when we think about it, both of these civs are strong in the late game. The Slavs are a fantastic late game civ. The Khmer are a fantastic late game civ. So it's going to be great to see these guys go at it. And I hope we really see a really big post-Imperial game here with a good variety of units coming out. It would be awesome.
I do too. Now here's the house down. As soon as our house is down, I think these... Oh, no, here comes the knight.
Yeah, the knights...
Oh, he's going to lose a lot of HP.
Yeah, losing a lot here. He's only got 2 knights. I don't know why he's going in. He needs more before he really commits to this.
Well, those men-at-arms, they're going to be doing a lot of damage here.
Yeah, I mean...
And,
come on, man. Is he really going to lose both knights here? It could happen.
Oh, that's
no.
embarrassing. You get taken out by a men-at-arms?
He's just finished
Feudal Age men-at-arms?
He's just finished +2 defense, so he should be able to clean this up now. But this is doing way more damage than it should do. BacT should have been able to clean this up easily, and now he's lost access to some farms. A little bit messy. But, you know, dogao just really going to town on those walls. He's even walling behind his military production buildings on the right side after realizing just how weak these houses act as walls. Going to double up and double down on this strat, which is to basically turtle now. And dogao also gathering stones, so we should see him making 2 TCs as soon as he hits castle.
Oh, this is a big decision for BacT. He's going with the second stable, and he's reseeding his farm. So he's going to be making a lot of knights here. He's going to have to go aggressive if he wants to make that work out, or this is going to delay his boom a little bit. We'll have to see. I don't see him taking stone right now, so he's nowhere near getting a second town center.
Yeah, I feel like this is maybe a mistake from BacT. I mean, he's doing this blind, remember? He's not seen anything since he turtled himself in the feudal age. He's going to send these knights out, and he's going to overcommit. He's going to see the walls. He's going to think, okay, well, let's see if there's a way around. And by the time he realizes that it's fully walled, it could be too late. Now, he's going to build a siege workshop on the front, that's all well and good, but it's really tough to get through these walls. Now, stone walls, 900 HP in the feudal age, but once dogao gets to the castle age, that's going to jump up to 1,800. And I don't see BacT getting through here very easily. In fact, what I would like to see him doing is say, okay, let's just cut the knights, let's just wall up again. And pull ahead in economy, because at this point, dogao has been in feudal so much longer than BacT. BacT could have his second and third town center up comfortably right now.
Yeah, I would agree. This is the benefit of being a spectator here. We can see what the better strategy is. Do you really want to be getting into a mangonel trade with the Slavs? I mean, the Slavs are going to save a lot of resources here.
Yeah, exactly.
If they do get into that trade.
Even if you trade 1-for-1, the Slavs win, because they save 15% on all siege workshop units. And so I feel like dogao should have the edge in this defensive position, and that really fits the Slavs quite well, I feel, because, like we said, the Slavs want to go to the late game. They want to have a big economy with a lot of farms up, and we see that straight away. Dogao is going to have his second town center up before BacT, and he's been in the castle age, or BacT has been in the castle age for about 5 minutes longer.
Yeah, well, here comes the first mangonel out. We're going to have to see a siege workshop in defense of dogao. He's currently spent all of his wood on 2 town centers. He's going to have to afford himself a siege workshop pretty soon.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take a while for these mangonels to break through, but, I mean, before you know it, they will have that wall crumbling, and he's even bringing in a siege ram as well. We should see dogao adding the workshop any second now. He actually needs to task his villagers to take wood over here, but he might be taking the stone for a castle.
This is risky. I think he's gonna just completely forget about the siege workshop. He's gonna go for a castle. This is very risky if BacT gets in before this castle is up.
Yeah, I mean, dogao is gonna basically have to time this really well, and I'm not too sure if he will be able to get the castle up in time. He still needs another 200 stone. He has a lot of villagers taking stone. He's got 4 at the bottom and 9 on the right side. Oh wow, he's doing a huge wall behind this. So I don't think I think he realizes he's not going to get this up in time.
Why not just try to get maybe 2 tiles of wall here between the trees and between the tree line? Just hope that BacT's not looking with his mangonel.
I mean, I don't see why he doesn't just add a siege workshop and makes mangonels.
It's risky.
It's kind of frustrating, to be honest, because as we said, the Slavs will trade better in mangonel wars, absolutely. And dogao, I think, maybe feeling a little scared. He has now got enough for that castle, so he should put the castle up. But that's the thing, a castle is only a static defense. It can only defend a certain point of the wall. And right now, this is a problem, because BacT can probably come to the tree line and maybe even hit this TC from here. I think it's just out of range, actually. I think it's just out of range.
Yeah, well, the town center on the bottom should... we'll have to see.
No way! He lost the castle! He lost the castle! Oh, I don't believe that!
Oh, my God!
Oh, that's... Oh, jeez. 650 stone. Down the shitter.
Well, dogao's going up with the siege workshop now.
That's ridiculous. Let's watch that again on the instant replay. I can't believe that. He built the foundation, and then it immediately dies to the mangonel shot. 650 stone wasted. And dogao is not having the game he wants right here. Villagers being killed off. What a mess for dogao. I can't believe this. I cannot believe this.
Yeah, if BacT gets in this game is over, I think. But if dogao defends, I think he'll be in a decent position.
Yeah, but can he defend? That's the real question now. BacT has such a huge advantage in military. Remember, he's still only on 1 TC, so all of those resources that dogao is spending on making villages and building town centers, that's the resources that BacT has spent on military. We've got monks coming in, we've got knights breaking through, and dogao's only defensive unit is gone. He's building another castle now at the back.
Oh, that poor villager. He's trying to put the foundation over the knights. Nope, not gonna happen. Here comes the castle finally. It's in a weird position.
It's super weird, and I think dogao's going to pay for this by losing a town center here. I think I'd like to see more monks from BacT. The knights from dogao are going straight for the mangonel, of course. But let's not forget, there's also a battering ram in here, and dogao's calling GG. Oh my goodness, what a ridiculous game. I genuinely thought
that was a Titanic if I've ever seen one.
Absolutely, a real Titanic from dogao there. I genuinely thought we would see a late post-Imperial match if dogao had just made a siege workshop and a couple of mangonels.
Dogao got greedy here. He wanted to go for the castle. If he got the castle up, he would have been in a better position than a siege workshop. But it's way too risky. Why not take the easy course of action?
I mean, it's not even like, dogao isn't a bad player. Dogao can very easily manage 3 or 4 mangonels and defend a wall with it. It's not a hard thing to do. So it's really confusing to me that he wouldn't take the easy option. I mean, maybe he didn't look at his tech tree and realize that his siege units were cheaper, because there's really no excuse in this situation to not make mangonels when they're that cheap. And it's one of the best units to defend with.
Yeah. This whole game boils down to that one mistake between these high-level players.
And also, I mean, had his castle not been destroyed there, I think it would have been a different story altogether, because he would have defended this wall. But even still, his main gold is then out of reach, because BacT will have had control of that, and he's only then got, 3 tiles of gold left? Yeah. It was a bad play by dogao. He wasn't thinking ahead, in my opinion, about this. And yeah, I mean, well played to BacT, really. He did a great job, considering he was so much later.
Well, great
so
play.
Much pressure.
Great play to BacT. He went up with that second stable. He committed towards it. He went with the siege workshop, even though he might be at a disadvantage with the Civ, but just a big mistake from dogao, and he caught him with his pants down.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good map, though. Actually, it works well, and I think the reason why the reason why this map is good is because at the bonus resource locations, they're very far from the town centers. There's not, I mean, look at where the main gold for BacT is, for example. It's really far away. And the main gold for dogao is quite forward. But not only that, the second and the third golds are also really far out. So it forces players away from their town center a little bit more than perhaps Arabia would.
Yeah. Well, what we said was this map was kind of open like Arabia, so we could see a lot of diversity in strategies. And here we saw the players walling up, and that still is a legitimate strategy here. So we have plenty of variation on this map.
That was the land of walls, that game. Looking at the units lost, we can just see dogao there losing out massively in the end. But we are going to throw it over to Nubford now, who will give us his analysis of what we just saw.
Oh boy, what a weird game here. So let's take a look at what really happened here. dogao deciding to go to play against BacT, who basically played a 1TC arena push here. And at this time, dogao went for 2 extra TCs and was ahead by roughly 10 villages even. Trying to go for the defensive walls here, even trying to wall over here, and later on trying to get the TC up here. But let's take a look at what happened before. I think the key points are, look at this. dogao was defending the Drush with 3 M&A and his scout. And that is kind of an overkill. And therefore he didn't scout any of the walls. of BacT. Look at this, I'm switching between Fog of War and what BacT actually built. And then we see the knights later on cleared up all the feudal army, which was pretty easy for BacT there, and I think that was the main problem of scouting. But now let's jump into how it went on with the push here. At the moment it's 2 stables, 1 monastery, 1 siege workshop, going full aggression against dogao, who got 1 layer up, got the 2nd layer up, and yeah, an absolute reasonable option would have been to just put down a defensive siege workshop and go for some mangonels of your own, like the 2 castles just explained. And okay, he took a different approach. He went for the defensive castle, but yeah, where do you build it at what time? Look at this. He already has more than 650 stone. He could already start the castle. He could build it more defensively. He could build it very defensively and not protect the TC. Maybe just over here and wall some more over here. Now he goes for the siege workshop. And now let's go into this. And the mangonel is focusing this villager. The castle is getting built and instantly denied. Oh, freaking me. And yeah, dogao can't respond with more than simple 11. And now it's dogao having 51 villagers and still very far ahead to BacT, but BacT has 13 army compared to the 3 knights of dogao here, and therefore it's no chance to hold this. Dogao now is trying to go for another defensive castle, but it's basically over already, and that was just so bad. The mangonel's trying to trade off a bit, but BacT is already in, and there's just no chance of a successful hold here. That felt just so brutal. Those were the highlights from before, and I will show you this one over and over again. And mangonel shot, castle instantly going down. I think dogao won't sleep that well this night. Ay.